Today's film was recommended to me by none other than James Brown. Not the James Brown from Rocky IV, the James Brown from the warehouse at my workplace. That man is a sick son of a bitch who knows exactly what kind of movies I'm looking for this show.
Ho 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 ho, delightfully devilish, Seymour.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to Delightfully Devilish, the show where we discuss films that all at once meet the criteria of being the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm your host, Jukebox Harry, and today we're going to be talking about an educational movie about furries. Cool Cat Saves the Kids is a 2015 kids film directed by Derek Savage, a man who grew up getting bullied and invented a childhood imaginary friend called Cool Cat to cope with it. And if you want to know anything about that guy, you just need to go to the Pandora's box that is his YouTube channel. There's a video of his character Cool Cat harassing a bunch of celebrities who are too nice to say no to him, footage of Derek Savage himself opening fire on poorly rendered coronavirus particles, and even the trailer for a film about gun self-defense for women.
Back off or I'll shoot!
It is one big cesspool of memes just waiting for your commentary. There is nothing particularly malicious about Derek Savage as a person, except for maybe his responses to some of the people who have criticized his movie, but at the same time, there is something fundamentally not right about him. Cool Cat Saves the Kids is a movie that I actually got anxious watching because there was just so much fundamentally wrong with it that I started to get worried about how much time would actually be taken out of my life so that I could make this episode. But there is just so much that I've really got to just jump into it. Cool Cat Saves the Kids begins with terrible green screen and word art style title text. And Vivica A. Fox, someone who actually had a career once upon a time, is in this film. Remember, she played Will Smith's wife in Independence Day. She once played one of the leading roles in the second highest grossing film of all time. And now she's in this. Then the film starts with newspaper reports talking about bullying becoming a major problem.
Help! Kids everywhere are being bullied!
Are you? I don't see any bullies. I also don't see why this was shot on a green screen and the background was chroma keyed out to be a poorly painted image of a landscape. One of the newspapers literally says kids loves Cool Cat. That is a second grade grammatical error, come on guys. The camera moves inside a house where you can easily see the shadow of the person carrying it, and we get to meet Cool Cat himself.
Here you go, sign. Hello, this is Cool Cat.
Yeah, there is no way that touchscreen phone is going to respond to a guy in a catsuit touching it. They were not designed for furries. Also, the phone is very obviously off.
Who are you? And what's your name?
You are so funny.
Is he? Is this film's idea of humor?
I'll get it.
Thanks. My hands are full.
Fucking liar.
Cool Cat's friend Maria comes over so the two can work on signs for Cool Cat's school president campaign. Yeah, for the sake of this film, we have to pretend that Cool Cat is a child. I'm willing to pretend that he's a man in a suit, but pretending he's a child, that's going a little bit too far. Also, his campaign is literally entirely composed of him just making signs. They never do anything else.
Wow. This is the coolest office I've ever seen.
Thanks. Here are our seats.
Good golly. With people like you on the team? How could we go wrong?
Why did you cut there? All the audio is dubbed, so there's not going to be a continuity error.
Bored, I feel like picking on someone. And look over there. If it's not Cool Cat Maria.
This character is so wrong, but I don't know what to call this kid without sounding bullying, and since this film has an anti-bullying message, I want to respect that. So instead, I'm just going to pick the names of actors who you've probably seen in a lot of films, but probably don't actually know the names of, and I'm going to switch it every single time.
They think they're so cool.
I believe that's implied by the name Cool Cats.
Maria's prettier. South Texter's ugly.
I don't understand a word this guy is saying.
Hey, Cool Cat. I just got a text, but I don't know who it is.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Opening the message, asking who it is, calling them back and seeing whose name pops up on the voicemail. These are all very simple ideas.
What if it's a secret contest and I just won a whole bunch of money?
Then we can take a nice trip together.
That's a splendid idea.
Isn't that how children get abducted, falling for scamming pedophiles? This movie should be doing something to speak out against that, and it's not. Who are you saving the kids from if you're not saving the kids from diddlers?
I love being a boy.
Okay, this film gets bullies wrong. Most bullies lack the self-awareness to realize that they're actually being bullies. Bullies is a term to refer to people who like to put other people down to feel good. Most bullies don't actually have the self-awareness to realize that's what they're doing.
And I'm Cool Cat, and I love all kids.
Is Kevin Spacey the one under that costume?
Everyone thinks Cool Cat's so cool.
I definitely do not think that. William Fichtner runs off and grabs a can of spray paint to paint over a Cool Cat sign which is literally planted on his own lawn.
Ouch! That dumb one blew paint in my face.
My daddy says, what goes around comes around.
Cool Cat just saved the world from graffiti because the wind is always going to be there to stop it, right?
Well. What do we have here? There's more paint.
Did you learn nothing from literally spraying yourself in the face with it a second ago? Also, you only sprayed like 2 seconds worth of paint. I'm pretty sure that can is still going to be really full.
We'll turn lemons into lemonade.
And I love lemonade, it's so good. Whee!
Lemonade comes from lemons, and citrus is toxic for cats. This film is not just misinformed, it's actually dangerous when it comes to how it approaches animal welfare.
Kids are graffitiing on our sandboxes, and it's not pretty anymore.
Why did you just pause midway through the sentence?
They even took our toy shovel. Now we can't build sandcastles.
You should never take something that doesn't belong to you.
Ain't that the truth?
Cool Cat, of course, is the name of a Looney Tunes character who has existed since 1967. What was that about taking something that doesn't actually belong to you, Derek Savage?
He's about to graffiti our neighbor's wall. Cool Cat to the rescue!
Cool Cat's so brave.
A man in a suit running over the street to shout at a bunch of kids. Yeah, definitely. Bravest motherfucker around. Before Bill Pullman can even spray anything, Cool Cat scares him off.
So why do you want to paint the wall?
Because nobody loves us. We tag in other people's things so that they know we were there.
Oh no, you got it wrong! That's not the truth! The truth is...
Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
Don, that dumb Cool Cat spoiled that plan too.
What goddamn language is that?
I think every kid has something special inside of them.
90% of the time, it's a Catholic priest.
That was delicious!
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, hey, how about another glass of milk?
She wasn't drinking from a glass. How can she have another glass of milk if she didn't even have the first one?
And someone is calling.
And that phone is visibly not plugged in.
Hey kids, how would you like to go to Hollywood tomorrow?
I would love to, but I can't because my grandma's visiting. But can I please go next time?
Hey, of course, Maria, as long as your parents say it's okay.
Yeah, the parents that let their daughter appear in this film, I definitely do not trust their judgment. It also took me a second to realize that Mr. Derek and Mama Cat are meant to be Cool Cat's biological parents. How the hell are we meant to believe that these two procreated?
Did I see you bang that thing? Alright, you know what? Let's just...
Get over and give me a hug.
Ugh, this film is terrible representation for furries. In Cool Cat's room, he's literally just stuck cartoon pictures of himself in a lot of arbitrary places, including over a painting that was already up.
Look at this cool webpage!
That, of course, is the actual Cool Cat website. I went there myself, and its layout is actually more outdated than the Space Jam website. But Space Jam website has been kept like that intentionally. This is a website designed by someone who doesn't know the first thing about designing websites. You can get Cool Cat merchandise, including a Cool Cat coronavirus mask, Cool Cat t-shirts, which don't even actually have pictures to go with them for some reason, and a Cool Cat KC, which of course stands for keychain. Has anyone ever referred to a keychain as a KC?
I got an email from a John Doe! You have a fat nose?
Well, you do. That's not inaccurate. Unlike the phone from earlier, the heat-sensitive laptop mousepad is definitely not going to detect a guy in a cat suit running his finger across it.
I'm getting bullied in my own house? And I don't even know who from? That makes me mad.
Cool Cat is literally the exact kind of ridiculous character that the creators of South Park were trying to mock when they invented the sexual harassment panda.
Your breath stinks? It smells like cat food?
Well, it probably does. My breath currently smells like blueberry almond yogurt and iced coffee because I had that for breakfast. But you don't see me struggling to sleep at night over it. Derek Savage had so little faith in the intelligence of his viewers that he had to literally outline for us the fact that we were going to Dreamland when Cool Cat falls asleep.
This must be Dreamland.
So little faith that he had to remind us twice.
I'm not a scaredy cat.
I get it.
Most films just show the character waking up. This is not most films.
Are you ready to go to Hollywood? Oh, I sure am.
Here, I help you get in the car here. Was it locked?
Yes, it was, Daddy Derek.
Well, that's for safety purposes.
Why would you lock a door for safety purposes and then leave the window open? That entirely contradicts that whole point. We go to Hollywood and see the stars of Alice Cooper and Elvis Presley on the Walk of Fame, who I'm impressed didn't actually get credited as starring in the film. That seems like something Derek Savage would do. Cool Cat stands in the street spouting nonsense and then goes home, thus concluding his entire trip to Hollywood. And Daddy Derek gets his shirt caught on the flowers when they walk inside, because on top of not being able to write, direct, or act, Derek Savage can't even walk a straight line without banging into things. And there are a lot of shots in this film of Cool Cat going up or down stairs in different styles of walking. I'm not sure what this is meant to add, but for the sake of the Cool Cat drinking game, take a shot every time that happens. And Derek Savage is even so self-indulgent that he couldn't even give Maria her own shot without having her share the screen with a photo of Cool Cat.
First, I need to brush my teeth so I can have that minty, fresh breath. Can I have some privacy, please?
The camera actually nodded, so that means that you and I are actually characters in this film.
Mama Cat went to the beauty parlor with Vivica A. Fox.
Vivica A. Fox is literally playing herself in this film. God, either this film is so desperate to get some kind of celebrity status, or Vivica A. Fox can't even be bothered acting anymore. Cool Cat and Daddy Derek decide to go and write a song, and this is the point where I realized that writing a song and Cool Cat going to Hollywood isn't doing anything to save the kids.
Okay, let's rock.
Hit the fuck.
Wow, that was was a lot of fun. It sure was, Daddy Derek.
No, it wasn't. I made it fun with the Huey Lewis song.
Hey, check it out. It's autographed by the Van Halen band, and it was autographed back in the 1980s.
Right, because kids watching this film are definitely going to know who Van Halen is. I mean, as a kid, I did, but I'm a very different person. I was actually ostracized from my friend groups as a kid because they always wanted to listen to the new So Fresh CD. I always wanted to listen to Metallica and System of a Down. Also, the fact that Derek Savage wrote this scene just to show off that he has an autographed Van Halen guitar is pretty self-indulgent. That's not something a normal person would do. I even managed to get his autograph. That's not a good film, but he signed it. Like I said, I am not a normal person.
Now we're in the green screen room.
My name is Cool Cat and I'm the coolest cat there is. I love to play and have fun and I'm always on the run.
This is definitely not the song you guys were writing. Nobody even seems to care that the microphone keeps getting keyed out, even though this is actually a very simple task to fix. Then we cut to Hollywood, where the film has Cool Cat literally just walking around and vocalizing the cars he's seeing. I knew something felt wrong at this point and I did some research. It turns out that this entire section of the film is footage from the pre-existing short film Cool Cat in the Hollywood Christmas Parade. The film stops pretending to have a plot so we can just pad out the running time with shots of Cool Cat and children in Hollywood, which is actually pretty ironic considering that this film is titled Cool Cat Saves the Kids and Hollywood is one of the world's biggest cesspools of child abuse and sex trafficking. Even here we get to see Derek Savage referred to as Cool Cat's creator instead of his father as we're supposed to believe. And that just breaks the illusion. I mean, the illusion was never really there in the first place, but now even Derek Savage can't pretend that he's anything more than the creator of a fictional character.
And I can't wait to see Vivica Fox and Eric Estrada.
And I'll be ready in a couple minutes.
Hey, I bet you will, you fine-looking kitty cat, you.
So wrong. This is so wrong.
Cool Cat goes to meet Vivica A. Fox and Eric Estrada. They kept referring to Eric Estrada by his full name, so I had to look him up, and it turns out he's an actual actor as well. He was the lead actor on the 1970s crime drama series Chips. His career later led him to star in a series of infomercials and eventually got him to this, which is probably the natural path of decline in Hollywood.
I want to have fun today, but I don't know what to do. Do you have any suggestions for me? I could use them.
Well, maybe you could go save the kids from whatever the danger is supposed to be. And Eric Avari comes back into the picture.
Hey, who's that kid?
I don't know. Probably one of Cool Cat's friends.
Oh, no, I don't think so, Vivica. All of Cool Cat's friends are cool. That kid looks like he's up to trouble.
Are you saying that because he looks funny? Because if you are, then you're being very judgmental based on his appearance. But if you're saying it because he literally walked onto your property without consulting anyone, well, no shit, Sherlock.
I don't like sarcasm, so take this! No!
Jesus, I honestly didn't think that we could ever get a movie scene where a character complains about sand any worse than Anakin Skywalker did in Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Derek Savage, he innovated something.
That kid kicked sand in Cool Cat's face.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
And Maria is crying.
Oh my God. Stop your fucking lying.
I tried to stop him, but I didn't know what to do.
But that's not the way it happened.
People used to pick on me, and then I learned how to react.
Would you both like to hear what Vivica did?
No.
I learned to empower myself. In other words, I quit being scared at the bully, and I yelled at him to leave me alone. And I yelled very loudly.
Wow! What happened then?
Then her career ended up being a slump of nothing but direct-to-video films. The last time I saw Vivica A. Fox in anything relevant was in the 2016 film Independence Day Resurgence, which was the absolute worst film of the year. And before that was in the 2014 mockbuster Mercenaries, which was trying to copy The Expendables 3. That film was way worse than it had any right to be.
One time, a bully was picking on me, and they said some terrible things.
How did that make you feel?
Then Stephen Root comes back again.
Give me your lunch money, or I'll destroy your sandcastle.
They didn't build one this time, you fucking degenerate. They scare him off by telling him to go away, because you know, that always works. Cool Cat goes home to find a magazine left on the porch, but all I can see in this entire scene is Cool Cat repeatedly hitting those plants that Daddy Derek got snagged on earlier. Those plants are just a hazard. Cool Cat decides to enter a writing contest.
I'm gonna be a real writer!
Yeah, I bet that's what Derek Savage said to himself when he wrote the script to this film. Cool Cat decides to write in a location which is fundamentally wrong, sitting on a brick wall outside with nothing to lean his notepad on. And also, how is writing a book gonna save the kids?
I'm getting tired.
Tired of this movie? Me too.
Oh, wow! It's such a beautiful day!
Why would you say that when the shot literally shows a large dead tree?
I'm gonna brush my teeth.
Didn't you want privacy when you were brushing your teeth?
Boy, that Cool Cat's something else.
That's an understatement.
What's an understate? Is it New York? I don't like that place. Remember all those plants that Cool Cat kept bumping into yesterday? Well, they're dead now. Apparently we changed seasons overnight and he's still banging into them.
I wonder if Mikey sees that car.
Here's a thought, why didn't you alert him?
Always look both ways before crossing the street.
There have been several robberies. Bad guys are stealing candy from babies.
Please help me! A bully just took my candy!
Are we meant to pretend that you're a baby, like we're meant to pretend that Cool Cat is a child and not a man in a cat suit? Turns out the thief was Dylan Baker again, so Cool Cat chases him, but he forgets one thing.
Always look both ways before crossing the street.
What's the matter with you running into the street like that?
Larry Hankin runs into a cop and gets arrested.
Thank you for your help, Cool Cat. That was very heroic.
But he didn't do anything.
Didn't he, Lisa? Didn't he? Hey, wait a minute. He didn't!
They should make a kids movie about you.
We'll name it Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
Cool Cat and his friends go inside to eat, and they leave all the crusts. Every single time the characters in this film eat sandwiches, they always leave the crusts on the plate. Is that what Cool Cat wants to be promoting, that it's okay to waste food? That's not a wholesome message.
There's a lack of evidence because the crook ate all the candy, so the police were forced to let him go.
Wow, that kid got off easy, especially for stealing candy from babies.
Well, if all he was doing was stealing candy, then the police did the right thing by not actually convicting him of anything. That's common sense. Of course, if the kid was black, the police would have killed him, so I guess he did get off easy. You know, why doesn't Cool Cat try to stop police brutality? The last 14 minutes of the film turn into another pre-existing short film. Cool Cat finds a gun. They find it in the yard and Richard Jenkins runs off with it. I'm not sure why the gun was there in the first place. What has Derek Savage been doing on the weekends? Michael Bay-esque shot, and then they spot John Carroll Lynch brandishing his weapon.
Come on, let's get inside the school. They'll help us. They'll call the police.
Then everything will be cool, because the police, they're our friends.
Well, they can't be Maria's friend. She's not a middle-class white male. She's a minority. The police come and bust him, and apparently that police officer is actually a well-known porn star. Great casting for a kids movie.
Look, the problem is over.
No, it is not. There was a school shooting in Maryland 3 days after this film came out. There's been an estimated 136 in the US alone since this movie came out. This movie did nothing to help school shootings. Apparently coronavirus did though. The film ends with Cool Cat getting elected school president and winning the best kids writing contest, where the apostrophe on his certificate is obviously in the wrong place.
It's not about the money. It's about making great stories.
Take the hint, Savage.
Because remember, bullies don't like attention.
I didn't edit that myself. That's how the film was cut. It just... You know, you can't actually hold the audio department to a different standard to anyone else in this film. They're just all terrible.
With cyberbullying, you kind of can't really stop it if you don't know who it's coming from. But my best advice, just ignore them.
That is perhaps the sweetest bit of irony in the film, because when Cool Cat Saves the Kids was originally released, a bunch of YouTube commentators came and trashed it. And Derek Savage actually campaigned to have those videos taken down. Eventually they were put back up. Derek Savage actually cyberbullied people who did not approve of his movie. So a film that was anti-bullying, the director of that went and bullied people that had a different opinion to him.
The ironing is delicious. The word is irony. Huh?
Is Cool Cat Saves the Kids a good film?
No! Dude! No f***ing way!
I don't need to hammer out the weak production values of this film. This is a feature-length home movie, like something directed by Neil Breen. Normally I could at least give the creators of this movie credit for actually going out and creating a feature-length film, but the director of this movie didn't even do that. He Frankensteined it out of 3 pre-existing short films and tried to fill in the gaps with a modicum of new footage. That's exactly what Disney did when they made Tarzan and Jane out of the Legend of Tarzan TV series. They took 3 pre-existing episodes, animated a couple of new scenes, and tried to cut it together and pass it off as a new project. No, that's just not how you do it. This film is also meant to be based on a book, so was that book composed of 3 pre-existing short stories? Is that a thing that happened? Cool Cat Saves the Kids is narratively flawed in a lot of ways, but probably the most notable is the fact that it continuously loses focus on its anti-bullying message with self-indulgent Hollywood footage, 2 irrelevant back-to-back musical numbers, and a bunch of directionless subplots. Clearly Derek Savage had his heart in the right place by trying to make a kids-friendly film about responsibility, safety, and standing up against bullying, so I'll give him that, but his head was definitely not in the right place, and he got too focused on trying to promote his character to actually do something meaningful about bullying. And ironically, the kids that appeared in this film were actually more likely to get bullied as a result of being in the film. I don't condone bullying of any kind, but Derek Savage, your film is going to cause more bullying than it is going to prevent. You cannot make an anti-bullying film that you want people to take seriously when it's this fundamentally ridiculous. I mean, the character Cool Cat himself more than anything reminds me of Gary the No-Trash Cougar from Family Guy.
I said I want to know whose cup this is! Pick it up! Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up! Thank you, sweetie.
There is a sequel to this film, Cool Cat Kid Superhero. I don't know if I can watch that, at least not for a very long time. This film was just so overwhelmingly ridiculous and misguided that I need to actually take a break for a little while. But that hasn't stopped Derek Savage. He already has ideas for 2 more sequels, Cool Cat vs. the Wicked Witch, and get this, Cool Cat stops a school shooting. Oh my god, just, there are no words. At least to this film's credit, it was hilarious. I didn't take a single thing in this movie seriously, no matter how hard Derek Savage tried to make me do it. This is one of the best unintentional comedies to have come out in the past 10 years. This is definitely something that bad movie aficionados need to go out and see. So there you go, Derek Savage, you got free publicity, and you got infamy.
No such thing as bad press.
Cool Cat Saves the Kids gets 6 anthropomorphic mistakes out of 10. The overwhelming number of bad filmmaking decisions can leave you exhausted at times, but as a film which fails on every single level, particularly on a level of trying to promote a positive message, it is hilarious in a way that it never intended to be. And that does it for today's episode of Delightfully Devilish, you guys. If there are any ideas for movies you want me to discuss on the show, please leave them in the comment section below. James Brown, if you have more movies, seriously, come and tell me more, because this was wonderful. Otherwise, until next time, I've been your host, Jukebox Harry. Peace.